Welcome to
Frocks and Frocks,
the podcast by Neon Leo featuring Steve the barman. Each week we'll bring you a new cocktail and a new frock from Neon Leo HQ.
Neon Leo is a slow fashion movement offering the very best in dopamine dressing. This podcast is a carefully curated edit of fashion, lifestyle, enthusiasm, and entertainment.
Oh yeah, we are a non-stop party shop. All opinions, advice, cocks and frocks featured on our podcast are entirely our own. Enjoy.
So, ladies, this week's cocktail, you kind of gave me a theme of rosé, but, you know, rosé cocktails, could have just poured a glass of rosé and just called it an easy night, but I like to do a bit of education. I like to go down a crazy route. So, product I've got is a rosé vermouth. Now, I'll talk you through what a vermouth is as I'm kind of going, because vermouth kind of gets lost on people. Basically, it's wine at the base of it, but then it's kind of fortified with maybe a vodka, maybe a brandy, and then it's kind of, the best way I can describe it is like a gin, but without the kind of juniper in there. So there's lots of herbs, botanicals, fruits, and all that going in there. Every vermouth is
it
slightly,
healthy?
yeah, it's really good. The brand I've got is actually Lustal from Spain, and it's actually sherry instead of wine at the base of it. All right, so for this cocktail, we are going to go for, it's kind of like based on an old school cobbler, which was around like before the age of time. Basically,
When I was born.
Is essentially muddled through with wine and camping spirits. So for this, we've got the Lustal rosé. I'm going to make two here at the same time. So we're going to do a 50ml double bubble per cocktail. Kind of a low ABV cocktail as well. All right, so it's not a boozy one, but then glasses of wine aren't boozy either, are they? They're kind of low ABV.
Because we drink a lot.
Yeah, exactly, we do.
And then to kind of spice this up a little bit, you can kind of go down the route of elderflower, but then this is what you can get in local supermarkets. All this, I'll be honest, we're in Saffron and all this came out of the local Waitrose, okay? Other supermarkets are available, of course.
Obviously.
There we go. I've got Bottle Green's pomegranate and elderflower cordial here. You don't need much, about 10ml, so I'm going for a 10ml per cocktail, so I'm going for a 20ml of this. And this is just, you know, people see them as cordials, but they're just sugar syrups. They're just flavoured sugar syrups. They're no different to your vanilla flavour that you'd put in your lattes and all that sort of stuff.
I wouldn't normally put it in a cocktail.
Yeah, see? You got that.
Lovely.
And then just a touch of lemon juice. You could go orange juice as well. Again, not too much. I'm just going to balance the sugar with that. So 10ml per cocktail. So we're going to do 20ml.
I'm excited to try this.
And that is it. It's kind of a short cocktail. I'm just going to very, very quickly shake this down. Okay.
We know, Steve, that you've got to give it a bit of
Bit of power, 10 to 12 seconds. Bit of a, hang on, just for entertainment. The girls are going to shake this one.
hang on.
Show me that upper body strength.
No, Mandy, give it some.
We don't want a lot of weak and feeble shake like that. We want some proper welling. Come on, there we go.
It's
I'm
actually
worried
harder
that
than you
that's going
think.
to... Will that
No,
come off?
It won't, I promise you.
It won't come off.
Look, ladies and gents, do not
I can just have
shake
visions of it.
That's how it's
So
done.
impressive.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. Once that's shaken, I've got two sort of highballs there. You could go kind of rocks glasses, old-fashioned glasses, tumblers. Bit of crushed ice. I'm going to finish it off in a second. Just kind of strain that in there, equal measures. Bear in mind, if you just done one, it would have filled the glass. Perfectly. So there we go.
Love.
And then this is all about the kind of the finishing off. So a little bit more crushed ice, just to kind of make the glass look pretty. Of course, the more ice you have in your glass, the colder your drink stays for longer. Therefore, the less dilution you get. There's a little hack. So don't put in a couple of cubes of ice in your
I was
cocktail.
going to say, I would have been like, oh, it's going to
Dilute it.
No. So it's all about keeping your cold cocktails as cold as possible. Think. Here's a tip for you. Think those big old bloody gin balloons that came invented by the Spanish. They were invented because they wanted to put more ice in the gin and tonic because the sun was melting their gin and tonics through the afternoon. There we go. Nice big bushy sprigs of mint.
We do like a bushy sprig.
Oh, we do.
Bushy sprig. We've got a couple of
Must put
French
bikini wax.
strawberries there. And then we're going for, just to make it look pretty.
This looks like a whole forest.
There we go.
Oh, hang on.
Man down.
Coming off. Okay, got it.
There
This
we
is like
go.
me in a cup.
So,
Like, you matches your dress.
this is going to be very different to a glass of rosé,
Okay,
but
okay.
should
Thank
be
you,
flipping
Steve.
tasty.
That's
I'm looking in the
beautiful.
mirror to see their reactions
Okay.
now.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers,
Cheers.
cheers. I love this. Cock number 3.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that was a genuine reaction as well.
Oh, I love that too.
It wasn't what I was expecting.
Oh my god, I really
Tasty,
love
innit?
that. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it's got a real kind of bitterness at the end, hasn't it?
After I've gone, they're going to be horrible.
It's lovely.
No, I actually really like it.
So do I. I really like it.
Yeah?
That is lovely. What are we calling it?
So we're calling it, so it's a rosé cobbler, sort of, but you've got pomegranate, you've got elderflower in there, you've got rosé vermouth.
It's really fruity without being like sickly.
Yeah.
You know, like some cocktails you get when you kind of steer away from them because they're so fruit juice based, whereas this has the fruity flavours without the sickly.
It's really interesting.
You don't
isn't
have
it?
to serve it with crushed ice, of course not. You can serve it in a gin balloon or a wine glass with that, but
who wouldn't want it to look like
crushed ice just makes drinks look pretty, doesn't it?
Look at
There we go.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Steve.
ladies.
Cheers, Steve. Love you. Thank you.
Mega thanks to the gorgeous Steve
Thank you,
for the
Steve.
rosés by Cox.
Wasn't that wonderful?
Honestly, what a babe.
And actually, in the time it took him to make this cocktail, my hair seems to miraculously have changed.
Honestly, she is a unicorn if ever I saw one.
I'm a unicorn.
So,
Rose cobblers.
yeah, they're gorgeous.
They are. I mean, it's my fucking fave. So
It's
far.
always your fucking fave.
I love rose. I do actually love rose so much. Abs,
So, tonight.
what is this podcast called?
So this podcast tonight is Bossing the Juggle, and it's Can You Have It All? Which I think is a question that we get asked a lot as mothers, women, business owners,
Yeah.
you know, people that try and gym and eat well and run a business and have kids and
Generally
have
juggle.
a husband and all those sort of
Yeah.
things. People ask us a lot like, oh my God, how do you do it?
How do we do it? How
Um,
do we do it? Because I think today was a perfect example of head exploding, juggle bossing.
yeah, honestly.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think
Can we have it all?
start with can we have it all?
Can we have it all?
For me, no. And I mean that in the most glorious sense of the phrase.
I agree. I think elaborate on that, and I think most importantly, it's like a positive no, isn't it? We can't not without some things taking a burn.
Agree. And I think you can't put pressure on yourselves
Yeah.
to try and have it all.
No.
I think that it's unrealistic to think that you can do all of those things to, you know, your best effort without something kind of falling by the
100%.
wayside, or you thinking, I guess also, I feel like you have children or you have a husband or you have pets or what have you, and you this guilt is attached.
There is a guilt, and I think when the feminist movement obviously has been growing and growing over the centuries, when in the 80s there was a movement of female empowerment, especially females in business, but it was very much a masculine movement, I think. And this whole, can you have it all? I want to have the career and I want to have the children and I want to actually do it all. And there was this sense of necessity of being able to do it all, because if you couldn't, you're a failure. And actually, it's okay not to be able to do it all. But there are consequences of, I think, as women, we take on a lot, we do a lot, and we want to be able to achieve a lot. And that has come down from that kind of typecast of, you know, those movies in the 80s where you've got the shoulder-padded woman in the big boss's room, you know, standing up and going, yes, I've got the idea.
My uterus is my own.
Yeah, exactly. I can make this pitch and I can win the pitch, like the 9 to 5 Dolly Parton film of...
Which I am here for, can I just say? Like, there
100%.
was definitely a time and a place.
Like, there's no
for that.
us without all of what's been before. But I think it's so important to understand that you can't have it all without some things falling by the wayside, and by which that's what we're probably here to discuss right now, is what falls by the wayside and how do you cope with that?
Agree. I'm just going to interject because we're mega passionate. I'm just going to ask you what dress you're wearing tonight.
I'm wearing the Willow. This dress, oh my God.
Tell everyone the story
Right.
of the Willow when we got her and added her to the rental collection.
So it started, we were in Palma at the time, and a goddess of a customer and friend of ours, Amy, wore this to a wedding in Marrakesh. My God. It both popped up on our phones, and we were like, holy shit. We were like, where's the dress from? Oh my God, you look amazing. And I was like, I need that dress
She
for
is
an
a bit of
event.
a style icon, though.
She,
Isn't she?
to
Like,
us,
she's just stunning.
she is incredible, and she is bossing.
Pushes it.
She's pushing fashion. She is definitely at the forefront of looks, and also she's bossing life, parent work, all of the things that I think a lot of our customers it's a community. It's a lot of women, whether they be at the start of their journey in business or their bossing life in terms of where they are in their career. But Amy is an absolute salute to her fashion. She wore it. I was just like, that's me.
She did it with like a green sunglasses.
Green sunglasses.
Just, it was all fabulous.
Absolutely nailed it. And so this is Willow. I wore her earlier this year to judge with Abs the Style Awards at the Newmarket races.
And I think for that, I will just say, we've judged for 2 years now, and we try and choose pieces that maybe just push it just a little bit.
Yes.
That aren't a classic outfit, whilst I'm here for a classic outfit sometimes.
Of
for
course.
us judging, I think you have the opportunity to just give it that little bit more.
And actually, so in partnership with Velvet Magazine, who we adore, this judging competition has been really important part of our journey. Alice Ryan, who's the editor at Velvet Magazine, we love you very much. She has always championed us, and I think she loves the fact that we push those boundaries. What is your dress, darling?
Oh, so mine is a rotate dress. Again, I saw it on someone online, and I thought it comes in black and purple, and I'm not so much a pattern lover, but I'm a big shape lover.
I really want you to stand up so people can see.
I can. I'm just gonna. Our sound guy's not gonna be very happy. I'm
sorry, girl.
move that.
We love you.
But it's like bodycon through the dress, and then it kind of comes out of the sleeve.
Yeah. Look at the peach. Can you turn around and see the peach? Like, girl, honestly. Like, oh God, the cock.
Oh God, the cock, the peach, the mic. Sorry, girl.
The
Lucky
cock.
girl.
Like, this is one for our little snippets of the reel. The
Isn't
cock
it?
was going up your bottom.
Isn't it? That goes wild. Add to OnlyFans later, guys.
So, oh my God, stop it. So rotate is beautiful. I think that kind of segues into
I've literally sat off.
coming back to where we were starting.
So the juggle.
It's the juggle. And I think, so we've already talked about, can we have it all like within reason? Mm-hmm. But we're taking it right back to the start. And I think that premise of what falls by the wayside, what is hardest hit?
I think that, in life, right, life is accumulation of stories and relationships. Yeah. I would say.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of them really difficult, some of them easy. It's a journey. And I think that when we set up Neon Leo, we had other jobs at the time, but we kind of knew that you set up a business and there's going to be an impact really across your life, right? That actually, if you want to follow that dream, there's a financial impact, there's a relationship impact across the relationships in your life. We spend more time together. There's, a knock on to the kids. Yeah. I mean, before I did this, I worked part-time, 2 or 3 days a week. I still do most of the pickups and drop-offs, but I am busier with work.
But that's exactly. Like, I would say before Neon Leo, we were both busy with work. We were both working, but you start something and it snowballs. And even though our husbands are incredibly supportive, there is still the juggle of who's picking up today, who's doing this.
I will say as well, from a female perspective, and this isn't the case for everyone, but as a woman and as a mother, and probably as someone in my relationship at least, who took the hit when I had the children in terms of my work career.
He took on the responsibility.
I took on the responsibility of the children, and so he carried on working.
Sorry.
To then add in building another career or another business on top means actually I'm still taking the load of the children.
Do you think Al knew, like, obviously he was completely and utterly supportive.
He always has been mega, mega supportive.
He's biggest fan.
Yeah, biggest fan.
Nick's the same.
100%.
But I think Nick knows me, and I think because my role in our family dynamic has always probably been like sort of
different to mine, right? Yeah.
Hugely different. And sort of probably lead earner, lead worker. Nick has very much been, and it makes me laugh when we say this, but he's been the modern husband. He's been much more present in terms of picking up the kids and cooking and all of that sort of stuff. But that doesn't make him any less of what he does for his work. He works really hard. But I think Nick was aware of the drive. Alex has come to this, and I think, do you think it's fair to say that he is like, oh my God, this is like taken on a life of its own? And was he prepared?
I think he was open and very encouraging. So I think even from the very beginning, he's probably been the biggest champion of open more shops.
Yeah.
Do more
He
things.
really has.
Do you want financial investment? Like, he's been like, I can see this
Yes,
has
please, Al.
legs. Yeah. He's like, I can see this has legs. I think what he probably wasn't prepared for was the fact that I run the shop, Thursday, Friday, or whatever. Like, we split it.
Yeah.
But on those days, you're going to have to drop off the kids. You're going to have to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
And with that comes sorting dinner.
Yeah.
With that comes sorting all the clubs for the next day. It comes with sorting out the Christmas fair stuff. Yeah. It comes with all that life admin that, in truth, I have always covered. And also, I have juggled and covered all of that.
The unexpected cuts and grazes, the unexpected emotional turmoil that the children might have.
Or the call from the school, right? That's like, oh, your kid's not very well. I remember having a conversation, he won't mind me saying this, with Al once, because I was here working and he was at PT at Bear Walden and he wouldn't take his phone in. So it was like okay, although I'm working here, the kids are my responsibility in the day because he was working from home. And I remember a call from the school to say the kids weren't very well and I couldn't leave here.
Oh my God, no.
And I remember the school calling me and me saying, okay, that's fine. My husband's around. He's working from home. He can pick up Ava and then take them back home. Yeah. But he wouldn't answer his phone. And he didn't. And I called and called and called. And I remember eventually getting through an hour and a half later. And he was like, oh, well, I was in PT. And I said, I know, but you're at home and you're still the dad of 3 children. Yeah. I'm the mum of 3 children. I would never leave my phone unless I was in a real meeting or I was somewhere where I really couldn't answer the phone. I would never leave my phone because I know that they might need me. You can't, and I think that was a massive wake-up call.
Even in a big meeting, we would probably
still answer because it's the school,
our
right?
phones on the table.
And I think that was definitely a moment in the juggle where I said to him, if I'm going to do this and we're going to do this successfully, you need to be as present during the day, during working hours as I am.
It's incredibly difficult because that is a privilege, perhaps. And don't get me wrong, like I am one of Al's biggest fans, and I think it's a male privilege to be in a position because he works incredibly differently to my setup. Like,
and it's stressful and it's stress related.
Of course. And he needs that time. Yeah. He needs that time too. But it's like those circumstances that happen and pop up that are unexpected when you're juggling family dynamics and relationships and children and all of that. It's so incredibly hard.
I think I felt as a woman that it was my juggle to juggle, right? They were my things to juggle. Yeah. And at some point, I suppose it had to be a conversation where it said, I can take on most of the juggle, but at points, you're going to have to relieve me of that. And actually, that's been a really nice transition for us because it has now meant that there is more of a balance.
Also, it's a conversation. And I think in any relationship, and this is the beauty of relationships, we have a lot of conversations because obviously there is a wider strain when you're doing anything in life where there is extra pressure on your life to perform, to succeed, to do it all. That pressure is to make sure that you are kind of nailing all aspects. I mean, we have, and we've talked about it before, we have a group of mum friends without which I think we would fail at a lot of kid men.
Oh my God, or absolutely go fucking insane.
Like,
can I just say,
every morning we're on that group.
I have no idea what I'm doing at school most of the time. I have to rely on like 10 other beautiful women to be like, guys, what are we doing today? And they're like, right, it's hockey club.
Yeah, we've got to bring in an object.
Baubles coming in. Oh, you need something natural from the garden. Henry's got PE kit, but then it's school photos. So can you bring him in his uniform that I've paid for, that he's worn once this whole entire year because he's a very sporty kid. Oh, and then also Bee's got after school swimming and then she's got a party. So can you make sure you get a present? Like, oh, okay, thanks,
honestly,
guys.
Without that group, we literally, and all of us are very much within the group, we're all like fucking heroes. We love each other.
It's just honesty,
because we all drop in. But I think
with all of it,
things like that, it's like those reminders of the pressure of achieving everything that you need to be achieving, and the pressure of understanding that, you know, these things come into your life. We can't nail it all the time. I think you and I are probably quite honest in the fact that we're both perfectionists. We want to do things well, and and I think our husbands are incredibly supportive and understanding that when we go at something, we are serious, committed. So when we fail...
So we've got a good eye, right? Like,
Exactly.
we feel quite, like you say, committed to whatever we're driving.
But if we're failing at something like a kidmin thing, a parenting thing...
It's nothing major,
It hits hard because we want to be perfect.
Oh,
And we're not perfect.
And do you know what?
And that's okay.
I have that thing where I go into the school playground and I'm not the most like enthusiastic parenty parent. Like, I'm not the parent in the school playground that's like, oh, kids, let's all play hide and seek for 10 minutes before school. That'd be so. I'm just not like.
I'm not.
Just let me have my cup of tea. We'll have a chat with a great parent that I know about like how we fucking failed today because we forgot that it's.
I mean, you turn up looking... Yeah, but you turn up looking beautiful. I turn up, literally, I've rolled out of bed. The fact that I've made it to school on time, every morning is a miracle.
Absolute fucking miracle. Guys.
So I rock up, and so, like, God bless those women and mothers who are doing the hide and seek, but my God, we're not them.
And that's okay.
That's okay. It's okay.
That's okay to be them. It's okay
But
not
we're
to
like,
be them.
we're like that. Shades on. What the fuck? Are we here on time?
Who went to May Day parade with a spicy marg in a coffee cup because it was like 3:05, and I thought, this Maggie Thatcher inspired.
Honestly,
why are we doing a May Day
pagan
parade round a maypole? And
Can
they're
I
all
just
singing
say-
and they're all dancing. And she loves it. She loves
I
it.
do actually
don't
love it. I'm from ye olde Cotswolds, Gloucestershire. I was a flower girl, and my sister
I'm from
was
Walthamstow. I didn't love it. I needed a margarita, and then I felt I had to put it in a coffee cup so no one judged me.
No, exactly.
Because otherwise I'm the parent that can't handle it all, that runs a business, that wears too much makeup, that does this, does that, and drinks a margarita at May Day parade.
So in terms of relationships, we know that takes a knock on. And I think that is a communication that needs to be had. And I think that communication strengthens and changes, and it's really important. And that is a growing, changing part of that relationship. The unspoken, and I think this is something that we both randomly thought today, is friendships and the knock-on effect that when you are launching or running anything or really going headfirst into anything, that the sacrifices and misgivings of
I would agree.
friendships that you want to maintain but you don't have the time.
Family relations, or there will always be something that just comes at the bottom of the pile, or not even at the bottom of the pile, but just further down, and the rest is all consuming. And I said to Man, like, okay, well, what do you think is the biggest knock-on of taking on this business and of juggling everything? What do you think, or what relationship, or what aspect of your life?
I feel like I've let people down. Friends, really good friends, like, and this is the interesting thing, is that, you know, there is, everyone has their core.
What do you mean by that?
Core friends.
Yeah.
People that are probably...
Outside of family. So we're like core family,
core
and then
friends,
we have core friends.
and the non-negotiables, the people who are like your extended soulmates, of which this person has become. And you give those people time, but I think what's really interesting is that there are people who I include perhaps as incredibly special friends that I know I have failed at being a good friend to them over the past couple of years of us growing this, because I haven't had the time. And I think I am hyper aware of that. And I think when it comes round to that juggle, what are the things that are grating on my conscience are that I haven't been there for those people. I want to be there for those people, but I also want those people to understand that I'm time poor. We're time poor.
Yeah. So I had a dinner, similar vein, 2-3 weeks ago. I have, like, obviously, as all of us are members of loads of WhatsApp groups, one of which is like sort of my core London.
Your core
so I grew up in London.
Yeah. I've met them. They're amazing.
Yeah, after I left university, I lived in London for 6-7 years or what have you, and made some amazing friends. Some of them were university friends, and they were all catching up for dinner. And I'd originally said, oh, great, I can do that day. And I could do that day. I just didn't keep an eye on the WhatsApp chat. We had lots going on here.
So much.
Lots with the kids. And then I got a message from one of my best friends to say, how are you getting on with your journey tonight?
When are you arriving?
Nearly here?
That's so... And the thing is,
And
I
was
think
like,
it's very unlike you.
oh.
Very, very unlike you, because I would say in terms of due diligence to social calendar and being a good friend, you are absolutely
I try,
A-star.
like, it's something I
You're
try
brilliant.
really hard at, and I think that
I was surprised. I think I
yeah,
remember
and to
feeling
be honest,
surprised.
I was, and then I sent her a picture of me lying in bed with Henry, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I in the back of my mind somewhere, I knew something was going on soon. I just didn't have the headspace for it. And I think I sent her a picture of me lying with Henry while he was falling asleep and just said, I'm really sorry, I'm here, I'm not coming in. I will come to something else we'd
And also,
arranged later this month.
It's okay that your children come first.
I know, but the guilt,
And
because
that's-
those friendships, they are really important to me. They go back a long way. They've seen me through, you know, from singlehood at university, getting wildly drunk, wearing bin bags on a night out, all the way through to now when we're having kids.
Great tap, by the way. Look at that. Look at that.
My sunglasses.
The sunglasses, sorry, totally got distracted.
And they do mean a lot to me, and I don't want the lack of effort to reflect how I feel about them.
I don't think it does, and I think they're good enough to understand that. And I think, like, good enough, that sounds like they made the
but
grade.
the friendships are strong enough, right?
The friendship is strong enough. And I think also that is just a sign that we are doing a lot. We're still building this business. Like, this podcast is a part of, you know, how passionate we are about talking about all these things. That it's not that these things aren't out there, but it's also an understanding of that community base of we are all trying to achieve things, and it's okay to not be freaking perfect. It's okay to not spank
It's also
everything.
okay to just say sorry, you know, like ultimately I didn't mean to do that.
And it's okay to be completely and utterly honest about
and
today,
that is the best thing to do.
my friendship or my family or my husband or my children came first.
And I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. I want to just, I mean, I guess we're probably reaching time, but I wanted to talk about our friendship. So when we began our friendship, we kind of, I guess we sort of talked about this because I think as people, we had a lot of friends between us and a lot of family members, and there was this sense of everyone wanting something from you. And I think that when you have children, that becomes, you know, even greater, and they come first, then your husband or your partner, and then your family, and then your best friends, and then it sort of echoes out.
Yeah.
And I think we had a discussion where we said very early on, we're both very busy people with lots of people in our lives, and it was a sense of like, always be honest and don't ask for more than that person can give.
Neediness.
Yeah.
Like, we're very, very much like I've spoken, I'm quite brutal about it actually, because I have got incredible friends. And friends who I may not have seen you over the past couple of years, but I fucking love you dearly.
God, she still loves you.
I love you dearly. But how important it is, and that, you know, I was quite brutal. We had a conversation and you were like, I love making new friendships. And I was like, I'm at an age where I've got a really fucking good, strong base of friends.
Time, guys.
You got to be exceptional to make the grade. And I didn't want that to come over like an absolute twat.
It's true.
I didn't want to come over like a twat, but I did come over like a twat.
So
Because
guys,
I
if
think
you're not friends with Mandy at this point, you're not exceptional.
you're not going to make the grade, okay? But I think it was more coming from a fact of, I don't know if I've got much more room.
Yeah.
And I think really that like one of my absolute ride or dies, Mo and I are very quite honest with, you know, you've got to really be exceptional to kind of, because you've got people in your life and you want to retain those people. So Abs walks into my life and, oh my God, I'm flawed because you are exceptional. And that's not,
I love you.
it's not to say that there are other people that walk into my life. It's just a case of being time poor. And I, like the other day, I suffer, this is a total sidebar, but I suffer from migraines. And if I feel particularly migrainal, my children know that I struggle with multitasking or being talked at. So I'll get home and they ask me different questions and I'm like, I can't deal with it. And that's usually a sign that something's coming, so I can take my medication to stop it from coming. And I feel like that sometimes with the amount of things in my life or the amount of people that actually I have to communicate, that sometimes it's too much and I can't deal with it. And that actually, you know, another sidebar, I'm not about to be tested, guys. I don't need to be. Like I live perfectly fine. I think that's another podcast in itself. Like elephant in the room. I really don't need to be tested. I've lived perfectly fine. Maybe my children, but it's really important to talk about how it's okay to say stop.
Yeah, and to say no.
Yeah.
You know, you can only get so far by saying yes. And I think we don't give enough credit to people that actually say, I can't do that. And I would love to, but I don't have the time. I don't have the effort. I don't have the space and the mental capacity to take that on.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to be on the PTA. I would love to be a rounders coach.
Yeah.
I would love to... No, maybe I wouldn't.
Wish you? I was going to say, really?
No, but I'd love to be more present. Like my daughter keeps asking me today, oh my God, I picked them all up and they're all like 400 things at once. They're like, I want to sleep over. Can you come for lunch at school today? Can you do this? And it's like, whoa,
Oh my
guys.
God. We were in the car.
She played Hamilton for me just to basically drown out the kids.
Like dial it down, because the two of us were like, if ever there is a little window into the juggle, this is it. It
was driving back. We'd been in Cambridge to scout some pre-love stuff. Driving home, we were a bit late. We were having a sing-song in the car, but hey, YOLO. It was getting to school 1 minute before, picking up B, who then wants her gloves on, wants a different hat on, wants
found
a
the hat,
coat on, found it all, put it all on her.
Yeah.
Then went to get the big girls, who get in the car. Is there a snack? Have you got a snack? Where's the snack coming
Where's
from?
the snack? Why the fuck haven't you got the snack on?
Because I've been out all day working. So, I know. Okay, let's get the snack now. Woo! What snack do you want? Can I come in the shop? No, you can't fucking come in the shop.
Not allowed.
Because we all go in the shop. It's going to take me 4 hours to get you all out of the shop with basically 60 quid's worth of shopping.
Also had to buy all the fucking things for the Christmas fair.
Christmas fair tomorrow. Everyone needs a jar of sweets. Everyone needs a bottle. Everyone needs a box of chocolates, and everyone needs something for a fucking game that no one wants to play, that everyone pays a quid for, and
God
we all
bless the
clap
Christmas
and say,
fair.
woo!
Like Christmas fair. Like, I mean, Mr.
Like
Aiken's going to be there, though.
I love you.
Mr. Aiken's going to be there, yeah.
She's got a teacher crush, guys.
Love him.
Ultimately, coming back round, it's just a lot.
Yeah.
All the time. And I don't know. I guess we come back to you prioritise.
Yes.
And you do, and that sounds brutal in some ways, but there are things that are non-negotiable.
Yeah. Also, you have a massive cry in the bathroom.
You have a big cry in the bathroom. You have a shot of tequila. You realise you don't want to be a rounders coach. You don't want to be on the PTA.
No, because we just don't have time.
Because that's just guilt and parental pressure.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I want to sit in dead time and have a tequila.
Yes,
I want to run
please,
my own business,
please.
and then I'll pick my kids up and put them to bed and read them a story, because they are the most beautiful thing in my
and
life.
Cuddle them. You are a great cuddler. And I think you give them the time.
Oh my God.
You do. You give them the time.
Bee sleeps in bed with us every night. She wakes up in the morning and she said to me this morning, so when she goes to bed, I stroke her head every night. So like I basically run from like the tip of her nose up to her head, and then we go round, and she falls asleep like that.
Show me.
And I woke up this morning.
Oh my God.
And I woke up this morning
really
and
hot.
she said, Mummy, would you like me to tickle your head?
Oh, bless her.
It's like, oh my God, free massage. Yes.
Bee is like a Disney character. Like, you would love her. She is incredible.
She is gorgeous.
Pocket rocket. I think this is a classic kind of full circle back into like bees in your bed. You're juggling. You're like, where's your relationship?
I don't really get a great, like, she's 5. It's fine. She's my last baby. I would love her in my bed really for the rest of my life. I don't mind that. But the knock on is I don't really get a great night's sleep.
No.
I don't ever go to bed with a book, particularly because sometimes she's there, sometimes she's not. I wake up in the morning at probably 5:30, 5:45 to Mum, either do you want a head massage?
I'm
which
asleep.
Is glorious. Or Mum, can you make me breakfast? Mum.
Oh, Mum. And it's that, isn't it?
Yeah, all
It's
the time.
Mum,
And you think...
Mum. Like, we wouldn't have anything different. Like, we love our children, but...
It's a juggle,
add
right?
it into
And then
everything.
Can I just say, then you're going to have sex, however many times you're going to have sex a month.
Yes.
And then you've got to do the food shop, and then you've got to look great, and you need your Botox, and you need your wax, and you've got to go to the gym 4 million times a week.
You do never regret an orgasm, but it is the thing of, I know I am going to engage with you, but also...
sorry, you're really not that boring, but maybe you are now.
Just knackered, just absolutely knackered. And then... But knowing how important that physical contact is, oh my God, but it's like another thing.
I will say, just when we end, you know, none of us are superhuman.
We're not.
And you can't physically do it all. You just have to work out the things you want most.
And also...
And the relationships that are the most important in your life.
How
and then go from there.
okay it is to run at your speed, and that don't worry about that.
And don't worry what anyone else is doing.
No.
You know, just stay in your lane. Like we say that all the time. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your
have
lane.
a great time. Drink the tequila.
You're doing fucking great.
And to be honest, Jo Hughes, I will just say, said to me once when she had one of her kids, she said, soundproof headphones were the best investment she ever made.
Wonderful.
Because she couldn't hear them cry.
Here's to that. Here's to Jo.
To the juggle, guys.
Here's to the juggle. Mwah. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our fabulous podcast and follow us on social media on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook at This Is Neon Leo.